Hello, and welcome to my first Fallout video, first large-scale settlement. A lot of firsts for this one, but I'm really happy with how it came out. I had plans to add even more decoration and stuff, but it got to a point where the game wouldn't allow me to do anything else. But thankfully, nothing is in an unfinished state. There's just a few places that I wanted to add some more decoration to, but yeah, it's all in a state that I'm pretty proud of, and put a lot of thought into it. I wanted to make each place have something kind of special or a unique feature to it. So yeah, I'm excited to show it off. And I wanted to mention that the FPS is pretty choppy near the main gate, but it does get better after that. So if you start there and you're about to get chased off by that, the FPS does get better after that. So I'll put chapters in the description. This is definitely came out a lot longer than I was expecting. So I'll put chapters in the description to jump around. Feel free to come back, throw it on double speed, and view it that way. I'll have links to all of the mods featured as well in the description. But there's some mods that I've had installed for so long even that I forget that they're not base game. So I'll try to include everything in there with links, but if you see anything that you're curious about, just let me know and I'll try and tell you exactly where it comes from. I also, of course, had a lot of inspiration from some other builders on YouTube, so I'll definitely mention and link anything that was inspired by them in the description as well. And yeah, if you don't want to check out the full build, full tour, some of the highlights that I do want to point out, some of my favorites are the Armory Range, the bar, and the Sole Survivor's house. But other than that, yeah, I really appreciate anybody who decides to check this out. I put a lot of thought into settlement here, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let's get into the tour. So we start at the main gate. You can see we got a Minuteman on duty up there. You can come to this speaker and buzz in with this button. Our head of security will let you in. And that door will shut behind you, so be careful. So this is the main entry security gate for Sanctuary. There's the exit door there, and the entrance door on this side. And Preston is in there. He's our chief of security. And we have a weapon here for demonstration. You would deposit your weapon in this crate, and then the door opens for you. But we don't have to give our weapons because we're trusted here. So up to the top of this little platform, there's our Minuteman on duty. That's some blue and white painted power armors. Lots of blue and white paint in this settlement. Then we just have a little spot up here for whoever's on duty up here to quickly change shifts. A little bed and bathroom back here. Head back down this side, get a little preview of some of the buildings there. See all the generator electricity here. And then inside the main office, this is where Preston is stationed.
The Institute still manages to cause problems, even after it's destroyed.
So he can control everything from this desk. You can manually turn that turret off once you give away your weapons. Hop over this chair. Both of the doors are controlled by these switches on the inside too. But we'll leave that one open for now. And then this controls the main gate.
Be careful. Forcer is nothing to mess around with.
Alright, so now through the gate, you get a look at the barracks. This was the very first building I did in this project. But first, right next to it, we have this little shed. So I imagine this is for storing stuff that just got delivered. It's not sorted or processed yet, you know, just dump it here. Someone would be here tending to everything. Oh, there's about, I think I have 40 or 35 or 40 settlers here, so yeah, quite a lot. But I wish I could have had somebody stationed at literally every place, but yeah, the game doesn't like too many settlers. But yeah, so just some goods in there. Alright, we'll head out to the barracks building now. You can see the generators here behind these gates. No fancy sign on this one. It's not a flashy building. So we'll head inside. And this is supposed to be the main Minutemen office, where you could come join the Minutemen. Oh, and all of these signs are from the Curo tab, which is one of the best, one of my personal favorites anyway. So yeah, little bathroom in here on this side, bathroom and shower. Pretty much the same on this side. And the idea is there would be someone sitting here ready to let you sign up. Got some overflow storage here. So back here, there's some of the beds in the barracks and some personal storage. You can see they've got some stuff on their foot lockers. These are the snap beds mod. Up here is a recreational area just for Minutemen that aren't on duty to hang out. And then in here, another floor of beds. Some more personal storage. And then up here is the mess hall. So this is where all of the Minutemen would come to eat, obviously. I like to have a mix of pre-made clutter and individually placed things just to save on some of the load. I guess my thinking is if the game has to load one object made out of a bunch of things versus individually 10 items, it would help a bit. I'm not sure if that's the case, but yeah, so just some stuff on the shelves here. Move in. There's a comm station here, so this is our main communication with the other settlements from this room. Little workshop over here just for Minutemen to touch up their gear. That balcony wraps around on each level. And at the top level is a broadcast station. This would be where the recruitment beacon is, and just another place to look out on things. You can radio into anywhere in the settlement from here.
Yes?
And we'll head back down. A little preview of what's to come there. Tried to speed up the walking through segments that we've just seen. So back here is a little armory slash storage for Minutemen gear. Not too extensive, but Sanctuary wouldn't be their most well outfitted settlement. I imagine that would be the castle. But yeah, decent supply in here. And this is supposed to be like a direct access tunnel to the emergency wing of the hospital for, let's say, injured Minutemen to just get straight to the hospital. And that's basically all this little hallway is for. So across the street we have the Armory Range, and there's some items placed up on the sign there using the OC Decorator machine that lets you turn any item into a placeable object. This is the ammo line where they would manufacture the ammo that they sell here. There's a random hunter who decided to stop by checking it out. I imagine they have their generator behind that wall. So this is the armor side of the store. Lots of random stuff on the shelves. This is Bob. And this is like a side entrance for civilians or people who aren't interested in the gun side. They can just come in through here and buy some clothes and armor. So yeah, some armor on display here. Got some power armor stations. And we've got a fitting room over here. Place those close to look like they were on the racks there. So the weapons side is run by Emin, and you can see there's a sign there advertising the gun range, which we'll see shortly. A little sign-up station for the shooting contest. And lots of weapons on display in here. So before we go in there, we'll check out upstairs where the two shop owners live. So they've got a nice little loft up here. Little living room area where they can look out on the street. Nice kitchen. And just the other side of their living room. We've got their washroom and washer and dryer in here. Tried to make sure everyone had a place to go to the washroom in each place too. Nice little bedroom up here. Open concept. They've got some more stuff, storage under here. Little balcony, ladder for roof access and repair. And then their backyard. Oh, I also tried to give everybody like a water source, so most of the backyards just have a water tank and some generators and stuff. So here we have the shooting range, And I'm really proud of this one. I really like how this one came out. So we got some gear here, some objects set up for you to shoot. And there's a lot of, I think, cool wiring in this place. And some weapons there in case you don't have your own, but that won't be a problem for us. So when you're ready to start, you just hit that switch and the red lights will come on and the gate will open for you. And then if you want an extra challenge, oh, there's a leaderboard here too. If you want an extra challenge, you can get some moving targets with that switch. I found the rockets fell over the least, but they still do, obviously. And then there's some baseballs up there too. Kind of hard to see, but let's say they're the hardest challenge target. And, some electric targets here. When you shoot those, the fireworks go off. And I wanted to make sure you could see the fireworks from inside here, but I still wanted it to look scrappy, so I put those bars in the glass window up there. Or glass ceiling, rather. Alright, yeah, I think it's a neat little shooting range. You can just turn it all off when you're done.
I got scars all over. Some of them have stories, some of them I plain just forgot about.
And across the street here we have the medical center. And unfortunately this was one of the last buildings I did, so it kind of got shafted on the decoration a little, but I still think the layout is pretty neat. So we can see up here, check out that vertibird that we got a preview of earlier. Now I have this lift here because I imagine they're kind of assembling it up here as Sturges gets the pieces ready. It's not ready yet, but it will be soon. Nice blue and white paint job, of course. So we can see that there is a wing here that's in the process of getting painted and repaired. So yeah, they would bring it up the side piece by piece, I imagine. You can see the enormous generator that powers the hospital. And we'll head back down to go through the hospital regularly. Nice view of the city. These lifts and buttons are from Sabrina's workshop items too. It's another one of my favorites. So you can see what's on each level on the wall. And we have a nice little waiting area and bathrooms there. Just a little storage closet here. Yeah, this building is a lot more sparsely decorated than most of the settlement. I really tried. It wouldn't let me add more. So this is the decontamination room. I think this room's pretty cool. So you would get changed in here. This is a little decontamination chamber. Press the button and wait for the door to shut. And you can get rid of all your rads in here. And this is like a little clinic or walk-in area here if you have an appointment or something. That's why there's access to the outside.
I don't mind doing
Yeah, I
a
wish I
little
could have.
yard work. Exercise is good for the brain.
Okay. Wish I could have given him some more decorations. But maybe the hospital is recently opened. We'll just say that. So So this is the emergency wing. And laugh at me fumbling with no HUD. Some gurneys here. This is that door for the access tunnel. And you can see there, big water tower. I imagine the barracks and the hospital maybe share that water source. And this is like the public access to the emergency wing. Upstairs we've got some nursery stuff, you know, just in case. And a place to do laundry, wash the scrubs. And you can see what's on the wall there too. This is supposed to be a little holding cell or like a quarantine room or something like that. And there's an elevator access to each floor too. So this is the wellness center, a little gym just for everyone in the settlement to use. Have our physician here. And some more workout gear. Now I thought this was kind of interesting. Instead of punching bags, because I couldn't find any, they're punching logs. So made it pretty stern stuff at this settlement.
Good afternoon.
And then in here is where people would stay if they were, if they needed an extended visit to the hospital. And there's another washroom and shower for the people who are staying here long term. Over here is the lab, which I had much grander plans for. But like I said, this was one of the last buildings to get done, so the decoration in here was very limited. But yeah, just some lab equipment in here. Some shadier lab experiments going on in this back table. And those are pre-decorated tables from, I think it might be Workshop Decoration Pack. That's another one of my favorites. Just saves on some load. I think, anyway. And just showing off the elevator access here. So we see Codsworth there, that's the sentry bot. I'll explain that more a bit later. But for now, we'll look at the trading post. Oh, that Brahmin is actually in a good spot for a Brahmin. I'm shocked. But yeah, so I imagine this is where, like, roaming traders would come and set up their stalls for the day. You know, not permanent. Well, they are, for the sake of the game, they are permanent settlers, but in the lore, you know, I imagine this is where people would come and stop for the day and set up their stalls and maybe head out or stay overnight in those shipping crates. And I've got the unique merchants set up here.
We meet again. Are you in the market for some new armor?
I wanted to trick out their stalls a lot better too, but again, the decoration was a bit limited here.
Not many doctors around these days. Should let me take a look at you.
And the places in between the stalls, I imagine, are just some unmanned stores right now. So someone's selling scrap there, for example. A woodworking station here.
Bar's open.
Not now, Garrus. And this is my favorite stall in this area. So this is Vault Tech with a CH. So I imagine Trader Riley here specializes in vault stuff and like clean
Got some stuff for
items.
sale. Care to have a look?
Got a few bobbleheads here. And thought those capsules over the statues look pretty neat there. And then down from the trading post, this is the second entrance to Sanctuary. There's 3 in total, but the third one is a bit of a secret. So yeah, this is where known traders and people would come in that have already gone through the whole check-in process at the main gate.
Worst thing are the triggers. I'll see something that'll
Okay,
remind me
well,
of Frankie.
not during the tour, sorry. And yeah, we got some more guard posts back here, just to keep the traders safe. And I imagine back here behind the main trading post is where any of them who want to stay overnight, you know, if they're working their stalls late into the night, they don't want to make the trip back home, you could set up in these shipping crates, which I wanted to decorate into bedrooms, but they're just empty because, yeah, I couldn't add any more. But that's the purpose of those crates. Got some little vehicles there for hauling their goods. And those paintings that you see there are actually from one of our farmers in the lore. So that's kind of a cool little detail there. And next we'll check out the bar, but to get the full effect we'll start from back here. So you can see the big highway sign in the background. Yeah, I didn't notice how it sounded until after I made it, but yeah. Drinks this way. Keep going. And there we have Deacon undercover. We'll get into that more later. Almost there, and you made it. And the Brahmin is stuck in probably the one spot in this area he could get stuck. But yeah, this is the bar, the watering hole. Weapon drop off there. This is Doc. He's kind of like a bouncer. Security.
Good to
Got a drinking
see
buddy here.
you again.
This is Jade, one of my other characters. And this is the Nuka Corner, which I made for Sheffield, which I think this is a really cool area. I really like that rocket there. It looks like it's held up with wires there. I used set scale to shrink it a bit. Oops. Sorry, Sheffield. Yeah, lots of Nuka-Cola stuff on display here. I don't know why everything I grab fucking freaks out, but yeah. Sorry about that, Sheffield. And then the bar is attached to the motel, but we'll head in there after. And then this is inspired by Wise Old Wizard's tarot table for Mama Murphy. I thought that was just perfect, so I made a little card reading room or corner for her as well here. She's got a little pet seagull there.
Help us.
We'll talk about that later, Jade. So here is the little stage and the bar itself. And I got a mod to add wigs so I could give the ghouls haircuts because they always reset after I tried to edit the character model. Free drinks tomorrow, classic knee slapper. And just some bar decorations all along the wall here. I thought that couch was pretty cool. That couch is from the Raider Gang decoration. On the wall there, we've got the manager. So if anyone has to speak to the manager, well, there they are.
Long time.
And there's a little deck here just for outside seating.
The only problem with being a secret organization is that no one knows where to send the dump trucks full of cabs.
So Deacon is undercover at this settlement for a reason that we'll see soon. This is the outdoor seating. A back entrance to the bar there. And just a little outhouse back here. It's nice, real nice. Yeah, I added that little stone wall there just because I didn't like how there was just an empty space between these buildings. Firewood for the fireplace there. And I forgot to go upstairs in the original walkthrough, so I put in a clip of me going upstairs. That was my bad. But just some signs up here. More seating. Got some slot machines. And this area is blocked off, but we're just gonna ignore that for the tour. So I imagine this is where the bartender sleeps. So he lives up in this attic loft area. And yeah, that's his bedroom. And there's a Brahmin on the pool table. Seamless transition. So we'll check out the motel before we cross the street. It's attached to the bar, like I said. And so yeah, this is Marcy's Motel. There's some pricing there. Now I could not get rid of that wire spark no matter what I did. So I incorporated it and put the sign there. I thought that was pretty clever. You just have to work with the challenges that the game gives you sometimes, you know? And that's really funny, but okay. Here's the office, and Marcy's there at the front desk. So her and June, I imagine, run this place together. I don't know where June is right now, but...
Sure, let me just stop what I'm doing
sorry.
to talk to you. Being sarcastic?
So there's bathrooms on this level for everybody who has a room on this floor. Lots of bathrooms. And then here's a little patio. There's generator access. Someone left that open. And there's the workbench. So just a little place for people on this floor to come hang out. Barbecue there. And that's like a communal washer and dryer as well for everyone on the floor. So this building also got shafted in the decoration department, so I remedied that by saying there's some vacant rooms in here. But there are some decorated rooms. Oh, there's Mama Murphy. Maybe she's going to her reading corner. But I really wanted to have every single person with their own fully personalized room, but alas, I had to make do. But there are some, like for example, this one is my Fallout 3 character Penny's room when she's at Sanctuary. So she's got some vault stuff in here, because I imagine she has fond memories of her time in the vault, unlike my Soul Survivor. And yeah, more fucking weird physics on the objects. Some extra sheets and pillows and stuff for people checking in. Another vacant room. Oh my god, of course. There's always one. Alright. And here's Sheffield's room, as you can tell. And then this is Doc's room. He's from the Atom Cats, so I kind of gave him some decoration that I felt fit that theme a little. And all of the unique settlers are from Atomic Radio and Tales of the Commonwealth mod, I'm pretty sure. But I really like that one for livening the place up with some unique settlers. And
Why
And we'll
look
head
like I wanted
upstairs
to
to the second floor. Sorry, Mercy. And then this is just a little hangout nook for whoever is staying at the motel. 2 more bathrooms for people on this level. And a little patio up here. Oh, there's Sean staring at the brick wall. We'll just leave him be. Another washer and dryer. And this is, I imagine, Mama Murphy's room with some trophies from her days back as a hunter. / explorer. Whatever you want to say. And this is the master suite. I was kind of inspired by the player base in New Vegas-ish. But yeah, I wanted to make like a big room with a bunch of other rooms inside type thing. And they've got an open attic for more storage. I don't know if that's a thing, but I thought it looked cool with the glass roof. A little living room here next to the dining room. And they've got a little pantry there. Kitchen. Another washroom, of course. I really like those curtains for making showers. Just some more storage in the hallway. So this is a guest bedroom that I guess they haven't done much with. Not me, of course. And this is June and Marcy's room. That's just a pre-decorated shelf put inside the cabinet there. And some toys, I imagine, maybe in memory of their son. Alright, now we'll check out the Dome Diner and Lounge. So they've got a little window here to display the daily specials and the catch of the day. I imagine it's fucking rancid in that little room. Phineas is here on the to-go counter.
When I have free time, I like to draw people. From the waist up mostly, I have trouble drawing feet.
So you can go in here. Little waiting area or access to the display room. Yeah, I didn't think so. So there's a counter there to place your order. Some washrooms here. There's always going to be washrooms, okay? This is also
You've done a
one
good
of the
job with
last
this setup.
buildings that got
I
done.
like a leader
Oh,
who's
thank you.
ready to take charge. Looking good, honey.
Alright, let's relax a little. So back here is the kitchen. I thought that was pretty cool with the open section in the wall there, like, you know how you can see into the kitchens of some restaurants. So there's Ernie, our chef. He's got some stuff in here and a little cooler space back here. And I thought it was a really neat detail with those notes there to look like orders, like current orders or something. So that took a lot of fidgeting with rotating and stuff with console commands, but I think it looks nice there. And here's the arcade. Gets the point across. And then back here is the seating area. Then upstairs is the lounge. Check that out. And to accommodate for the lack of decoration up here, I just imagine that it's only open for event. That's why I put that on the wall there. So yeah, if you want to rent out this space or maybe take someone on a nice date with a moonlit evening, you can rent out this space. Next we'll check out the Sole Survivor's house, and this is one of my favorite buildings. I think it came out pretty cool. So there's actually the pre-war model house there, but I put lots of stuff all around because I wanted it to look like the citizens of Sanctuary fixed it up for him, and he still managed to completely get into a state of disrepair. So the fence gets more derelict as it gets closer to where Owen is. That would be a good time to mention now that this character that I'm doing the tour as is not the sole survivor in my lore. The sole survivor is in that house, but the character we are right now is Miles. He's my courier. So yeah, they're just different characters in my lore, but we'll check out the sole survivor's house. And good lord, what is happening in there? Alright, so yeah, there's a lot of backstory with him, but his name is Owen, and I imagine he started out pretty well respected in Sanctuary and in the main quest, but he really devolved as things went on. Got some vault suits burning in there. They burned up a long time ago, but maybe Owen still sees them. Ooh. So yeah, I imagine he took this nice house that they repaired for him and completely ended up trashing it again anyway. I really like how all this turned out. He's doing the custom animation there in the corner. Yeah, I just think this is a really cool building. And there's radiation barrels all over because I imagine Owen turned himself into a ghoul on purpose. So yeah, he likes to dose rads. There's the remains of Codsworth, who he turned into a sentry bot. He's even got his bowler hat there on the counter. And some food paste from the high school. Maybe, I guess Owen likes it. He's got a bed there. Yeah, he barely ever goes beyond this room. So that's why his bed is there. And that, I imagine maybe him and Sean started decorating the Christmas tree one day, but it was too much for him. So he just fucking piled a bunch of junk in front of it. So yeah, like I said, he barely goes back here. That's why it's pretty clean past this point, for the most part. He does have to access these first two rooms in the hallway, but Sean and Nora's rooms are pretty untouched. So here's the laundry room. bathroom, which, yeah, he's taken over. So then here is Sean's room, and I tried to... It's not the exact same, because he has a new bed. Obviously, he's not going to sleep in a crib. But for the most part, other than that, I tried to keep it pretty similar to the pre-war version. But I don't think Sean stays in here very much. I mean, would you? With Owen out in the living room? And then in here, Owen has clearly done his best to recreate things. He salvaged what he could from the vault, I guess. And you can even see the wedding ring on the bed there next to the hand. Yeah, Owen is... he's fucked up. Let's just say that. So yeah, I tried to recreate their pre-war room pretty closely. Yeah. Is that too much? I don't know.
Yeah?
Freaky. And you can see another door here, but we can't actually get in there from here. I'll show you that now. That is Owen's panic room. And I'll just give a little look around the house at more scrap. Yeah, this is a little panic shelter because he's super paranoid. And I thought these doors were really cool. I love how this turned out. And there's only one card that can open these doors. We'll just say that Miles pickpocketed it off of him in there. Yeah, oh man, I love these doors. That's from Sabrina's workshop devices as well, I'm pretty sure. All of these animated doors. But yeah, they'll close behind you. Yeah, I do like this over here. I thought this was a neat touch. He's making some modifications to his power armor, clearly. I thought that was cool. Got the cryolator on the back there. And then show off another exit. So yeah, you can only get out through this door too. We'll show off these funky doors. Just watch them close because I just think it looks really cool. Yeah, I love how that room came out, even though it's pretty barren in there.
Huh?
Alright, next we'll head across the road to Sturges Garage. Preview of the other buildings too. So there's a little window here for quick service if you just want to maybe purchase some supplies or get a little quick repair done. You can just come up to this window here. Otherwise you can go in the main garage. And there's some big loading doors here. You see that he's currently working on a car there. And we got some more power armor set up in here. And there's another button to open it and a switch to keep it open. This wiring is crazy, as you can see by the wall there. And I imagine that Doc, Sturges lets Doc keep his power armor here. That's why the flame paint job is on that one. Lets him store it here for free because it looks really good in the window and draws in a lot of customers. Alright, what do you think's behind this door? And we can just scoot past here to see the rest of the workshop. More blue paint, of course. Yeah, I don't know if that would hold that up, but who knows. Little robot workstation here that Owen commandeered to change Codsworth into a sentry bot. And then this is just roof access to access the generator, which is up there. Quickly show that off. Safety rails. I really like that huge generator. I think that may be from G2M, which is another workshop mod pack. But there's so many, it's honestly difficult to keep track of it all. Upstairs is Sturges' little apartment, which also was one of the last places that I made. He's got a motorcycle that he was fixing up on display there. I guess he's pretty proud of that one. Yeah, this is where Sturges lives. Oh, there he is. His own private bathroom.
What's going on?
Just showing everybody your belongings. Maybe I'll revisit this layout one day on a more stable save file, and then I'll really be able to personalize everybody's room. But I'm pretty sure I pushed this save file to its limits with this one. So back here is a little scrapyard area for Sturges. You can see he's working on some more vertibird parts. He's got a little iBot pod, so that thing flies around the settlement sometimes. It's pretty cool to see. Alright, across the road. If this place didn't seem like much to you, then it's doing its job. So this is a secret hideout, but I wanted it to look like an unfinished construction or abandoned construction project from the outside. So we got the purposely unfinished roof up there, just construction equipment and gear laid all over the place. We got the generator in there, so it's disguised as a vehicle. And yeah, so anybody who's not familiar with the settlement would just assume, oh, that's just an old house that never got finished being repaired, but actually there's a few more secret details to it than that. So this is the third secret entrance to Sanctuary. You could smuggle in escaped synths through there, because this hideout is a railroad base as well. So it actually let me move the root cellar door with place anywhere, I think. So I was like, I gotta do something with that. So that is a back entrance to the secret base. Little underground tunnel, and we'll see where it leads to in a moment. But yeah, you'd have to push through the bushes and everything to get through that door, so the idea is it would be pretty hidden and with stuff put in front of it, and we're not doing a tour. Yeah, more construction site stuff. Even though it's all junk, I think it looks good, I think. I think it sells the abandoned construction site look. You wouldn't expect there to be anything else in there. Hopefully. Alright, so it's just supposed to look like a little chem den in the main room here. Nothing worth noting. Oh, there's the iBot. Having some trouble there. But yeah, it doesn't look like much, but if you move this scrap, there's something behind here. Zabrina's also has all these really cool doors. And we're in the secret base. So I wanted it to kind of look like the railroad base, and that is kind of an homage to when they flash the light at you when you first find them. But yeah, this is just where they would hide out, or would have hid out some escaped synths from their pursuers, or anybody who is needing to be hid out for that matter, I guess, now that the main story is over. Maybe Dance stayed here for a while after Blind Betrayal. There's some sleeping bags in there. And you can turn the light off there, but we'll keep it on. And then this little room, I think this is a cool detail too. Show that off here. There's another access to the hideout. So if you go up this scaffolding, again, it just looks like more construction work getting done up here. But I imagine that one of these stacks of crates would be placed over this little hatch. But I moved it for the sake of the tour. And yeah, you can get in through here. I just love all these little weird doors. And that is the construction site / secret hideout. Alright, next we'll check out this big shopping center area. It's not just a general store in there, there's a few different shops in that building, as you can see by the signs. A little cart return there, I thought that was a neat detail. And yeah, this is the general store. And some shopping carts there on the ground, baskets. Some toys and hobbyist stuff here. Some random gear on the shelves. Some gardening equipment. Oh, and they're sold out of blue and white paint. magazines here. And I kind of wanted that to look like an open cooler at a grocery store or something. Somebody's been doing some shopping.
You
And
know
yeah,
what?
there's our
Since we
friend.
talked, I'm feeling swell. Look
I
at
called
the
it
two of
Gene's
us
General
here in
because I imagine that he has a name, and it's Gene. Got some sleeping bags there. And he's even got some appliances for sale. That was pretty cool. And then over on this side of the store, there's some more services, a little waiting area here. Of course, a bathroom next to the waiting area. And then here we have 3 more shops. There's a barber, a tattoo parlor, and
I buy
wellness
and
wigs.
sell. Just put up everything you got.
So
Let's see
she's
if we
from
can
the
make a
wig
deal.
mod. I wanted to incorporate her into the settlement because I use the wigs a lot. So I put some display
programmed it to remind me how pointless
mannequins
life
into the
is.
counter there.
Yeah.
She's a ray of sunshine.
If you see any first
There's
aid
a
boxes
barber.
out there, be sure to look inside.
Okay.
Hey, Scava. Let's trade.
Got some sorted posters on the wall here. And then upstairs, I really like this building too. We have the library. Got some magazines here. Some of them have fallen through the table. Freaking out when I pick it up.
I feel
And
like
here's
I
Blake.
get along with just about everyone. You want to know my secret? I do my best not to have it.
Nice. And then there's one of those little book return and take stations there. And then here's a little study room area, or just a area to chill out and read whatever you're taking from the library. Some community terminals here for anybody to come use. And some radios here for the settlers to communicate with people at other settlements, maybe. Yeah, I think this area looks pretty nice. And then there's a little balcony here if you want to sit and look down at the town while you're reading. And then that is the general store / shopping center. And across the road there's just a little post office. I wanted it to look like one of those places where you just come and get your mail out of a bunch of different boxes. Nothing really to see in there, but this is the requisition room or building. And this would be, if you're assigned a job at the settlement, you would come here to get the gear that's provided for you, because obviously we don't expect you to have all of your own stuff if we tell you to go hunting or farming, etc. So whenever somebody's assigned a job, they would come here to get the appropriate equipment and whatever they need. So you can see McCready's in there running things. Must be assigned. And then you'll buzz in here and McCready will let you in. And then you tell him what you need, what job you're assigned to, and then he'll go in the back room and get you
Last
get you
time we
whatever you
talked,
need.
I hope I didn't bore you to death by dumping my life story.
That's okay. He always wants to talk about his life story. And you can open the door with that button. He really wants to talk about his life story. Next is a little treehouse that I imagine Owen built for Sean. And it says Sean's place on the side there, but it's a bit messy to be Sean's writing. I imagine that Owen tried to imitate Sean's writing on the side there. Some playground equipment that definitely doesn't get used by Sean. So he's got a little science experiment table here. Some stuff there. One of these things is not like the other. And it seems pretty innocent as you're making your way up. Until you get here. Oh, I imagine that little picture is maybe one he drew of the three of them. But yeah, it looks pretty sparse up here. Especially that shelf, until you click on it. And you can see that there's a lot more to Sean than meets the eye. So he's definitely got some more going on than everybody at the settlement realizes. I don't even think Owen knows this is here. And there's Father's lab coat. Oh, didn't mean to take it, but yep. So yeah, who knows what he could be up to in there. And I have no idea how those three things did not fall off and the fire truck just disappeared. And that's the treehouse. And then next we have Ken's Kennel. Maybe that's why he opened a kennel. But yeah, I really like this building too. I thought that roof piece was really nice there. It looks like he has a shutter that he can open so people can come look at the dogs in the kennel. And how much is that dog in the window? And I imagine he can shut that at the end of the night. Yeah, so we'll head inside. And there's Ken.
Can't remember the last time I had
see
clean fingers.
Prices on the wall there for the different levels of training that each dog has. And maybe he can train your own dogs for a price too. And that's a little memorial to maybe one of his past dogs, just to say you can't cheap out and buy a domestic dog and try to use it for hunting. He'll find out. And I didn't mean to take that, sorry. Over here, just some dog gear. And it took a lot of fidgeting to get those collars on the post there, because the 3D model didn't actually have a hole in the middle of the collar when I tried to just place it on there. So I had to make it a static object and rotate it just right with the console, but I really like how it looks. And some harnesses there, and some more dog bowls and cat bowls. Dog armor.
Thank you. It's like I can finally think straight.
Maybe Sheffield is looking to adopt a dog. So over here is one of those little self-wash stations, so anybody can come in here and rinse off their dog after a long day out in the woods or something. Thought that looked pretty neat. And there's some more dog houses here that Ken's built. And they knocked their pillow out of the cage. Classic. Fridge that needs to be restocked, clearly. And he's got some trophies all around. He's a hunter, I imagine. And these doors can shut, but I guess Ken just lets them roam around during the day. So here's the dog pen. Some beds and food bowls and everything for each of them. Now, when I saw the Pet Any Dog mod on Nexus, that was what inspired me to make a kennel. I saw that mod and I was like, okay, now I need to get a bunch of dogs at this settlement somehow. So I thought it made sense to have a little place to adopt some dogs. Outside, we've got a little basket for the toys, but classic. They've knocked them all over the place. And this is just another little spot for the dogs outside. Clearly they're eating pretty well. Yeah, if they want to chill outside, there's more dog houses for them here. Some toys all over the place. And there's another dog out here. Yeah. And there's a little thing here, seesaw. I imagine it's for training. I wanted to put those little training pegs in the ground too. Like the dog course type thing. We'll leave the gate open for him. We'll close this one. Oh, and he has a barrel fireplace there for waste disposal. Alright.
Nuka-Cola is the only thing I can drink. Wait till
Oh god, sorry about that. Jump scare. And then through this door is access to where Ken lives. So he lives above his own shop. And oh, this must be Ken's own personal dog. Just hanging out up here. So he's got a bathroom here. Nice kitchen. I think this house looks pretty cozy. And like I said, he's a hunter, so he's got some shotguns on the wall. Cigar there. And this is his. And he's got a little patio here. Got some stuff ready to grill up, I guess. And a nice view of the rest of the town. This is hilarious. The guard dog, he did his job backwards. That's okay. At least he's cute. See, that's the type of dog that you can't buy and then use for hunting or combat. He'll find out. You're doing a good job in here, Ken. I really like this building. Here's the greenhouse, but we'll check out this other building first. Oh, and here's June. For some reason, the original Sanctuary gang love to come pick flowers. Well, really just dig for crops in this little circle. But I put a lot of flowers there just to make it look like they're picking flowers instead. So here's Ranger Resupply. So this is where our provisioners and traders, hunters, anybody who travels to and from the settlement frequently, they can come here and restock on their supplies and store their whatever they've hunted or brought in for the day. You can see somebody is clearly getting ready to bring their catch over. Maybe they're going to sell it to the diner. So there's some butcher tables there. I imagine everybody butchers their stuff here. Lots of stuff there. If you saw that, no you didn't. And then back here is another area for our people who don't permanently live at the settlement. They like to set up camp here overnight if they're dropping off their catch for the day, stuff like that. So a lot of the provisioners and caravans and stuff hang out here. And then I thought these little vehicles are pretty cool. set up to look like somebody's living in them, with a mattress and stuff in there. And some more goods just stored here, ready to be sold or processed and traded. And yeah, that's Ranger Resupply, but above is Lookout 2 of Sanctuary, so... And up here is where my character that I'm playing as now, Miles, would stay when he comes to Sanctuary. So this is his player home at the top of this watchtower. So he and the companions would spend their time up here mostly when they're at Sanctuary. Little bed for dog meat. I always usually have dog meat with me, but for the sake of the tour, I left him chilling somewhere else. Didn't want him opening doors every 5 seconds and stuff. Yeah, just a little place where Miles would stay when he's here. I thought that was too cool not to include. That's a mod called Select Guitars. And on the balcony there's just some storage. And you can get a real good view of the whole settlement from up here, which is why it's lookout number 2. So I imagine Miles sets up here for long periods of time, so he's got a lunchbox there. And yeah, you can just post up, watch things. Try not to fall off the edge. Yeah, I think it looks cool from up here. Alright, so down here is the farmer's market and greenhouse. I really like how the sign turned out with the foliage on it. I think it looks really good. So we'll check around the building before we head in. Some more stuff planted. And here's a little simple public garden. When I saw that tree with the planter base, I wanted to make a little garden for it. I think that might be from Homemaker, but I can't recall exactly off the top of my head. So just some flowers and stuff planted back here, and some picnic tables. Nothing too fancy. So all sorts of stuff planted on the shelves in here. Green lights, obviously. A light that fell down. Some bucket planters hanging there. So this is a grow room for a specific type of crop.
Pet dog, although.
And this settler is
He was the
Akira.
one
He's
with the
always
nose for food.
working
Wherever
away
he
in
went,
here.
I followed.
Got all of his safety gear on. Miles is breaking a lot of rules. But yeah, a little grow room here. He's already collected his equipment, clearly. And yeah, some watering barrels with the pitcher on the side. Classic. Got all the UV lights, I imagine. And some trimming was happening here, I guess. Yeah, I thought that was a fun little room to add. Down through here, there's some more plots of farmland. I guess for stuff that doesn't need to grow inside the greenhouse, and their generator is under there. That's why I'm looking at the wall. But yeah, more farmland out here. There's Faye, one of our farmers, and she's the one that sells her paintings at the trading post. You'll see more paintings inside there. Trellis all around. I really liked these
If the
built
river
up
water tastes bad, sometimes I'll just bottle it up
siding
before drinking.
for the farm
Helps
plots.
trick the old noggin.
Nice. Some more farm equipment back here and their generator. And over here I wanted it to look like they're in the process of making another one of those plots, but it's not done yet, so it's a little construction project happening right here. I like putting in stuff that's half finished looking. And here is the fisher and farmer's cabin. This is one of my favorite spots too. This is where all of our farmers and fishermen and stuff would stay. And yeah, I think this place looks really cozy. So this would be a single room for the fisher. Imagine there's only 2 of them, and then there's a bunch more farmers. Just some personal storage and a private bathroom. Turn the sink on. Check that out in a minute. We'll go upstairs first. So up here is like a dorm section for the farmers. More bathrooms. Put a gear on the floor. I don't know if you saw that, to look like a floor drain. There's a dorm room where the farmers would sleep. I think it looks really cozy in here. Hell, I would stay here. And this building is made with the Cabin in the Woods mod pack. That one is really good. I really like the logs from that pack for building with. Just, they always snap exactly where I want them to go, which is something I can't say for most build pieces.
Fools make the best
We have a
settlers.
clothesline
They tell
there.
it to you straight.
Oh, there's our fisher down there talking. And they have a nice view of the hydroelectric plant, which we'll see soon. And I imagine this is where Faye does her painting. Maybe she's trying to do a scenery piece right here. And here's one of our fishermen, Tanya. Got a bunch of barrels and fish here. Really like those lanterns that sway. I think those are from G2M as well. As well as the boardwalk pieces also, I think from G2M. And they have that noise of the creaking with the build pieces, which I thought was a great touch for this area. And there's some fish farms in the water there. And you can see fish in there sometimes. They're kind of hard to see in the water though. We head down this little path towards the hydroelectric plant. I wanted this to kind of look like an open sort of oil rig type thing. Oh, and this area is called the Grove just because of all the greenery around here. So we'll head in and check out the plant. See some water pumps there for anyone in the settlement to come use. Heading up here, there's some more big water towers for people to come up and fill up their jugs and personal water storage for their homes. So there's hoses there for people to use. And then in here there's some technical stations or something for the power plant, you know, monitor how everything's running from up here. Yeah, I'm sure I'm using the right terminology. And then there's some little dorms in here, more rooms for whoever's working on the station to stay. Again, for a quick shift changes so they don't have to go all the way to the barracks and back. See a nice view of the bridge from here. Another console area up here. And down here is another work area for the people who man the power plant. And there's just some more consoles around here. You can see the water wheels there. All of our water filtration power comes from this. And there's a nice little boat there. The water is pretty low. As I'm saying the water is pretty low, we see Penny, my Fallout 3 character, walking through it. I wanted to add like a dam system to the big sanctuary bridge there. Maybe to simulate that they could raise and lower the water levels as needed, but I couldn't add it, unfortunately. But yeah, that was my thinking. They could go out on this boat once the water is high enough and get some shipments that way. Another bathroom, of course. And there's just some storage in here, just a little storage closet. And then the main power source down here, gated in. Oh, there was someone working down there. Sorry about that, buddy.
You know what I call
Doing
a
some
good day?
scanning.
One that ends without an empty stomach.
And we'll just shut that for safety reasons. Next we'll head over to the church, but first you can watch me fail at closing this gate. And there's a little side path through the buildings here, just because I wanted something to be in this area. I didn't like it being so barren. So you can see into the kennels there, or their outside area. Some more water storage and stuff in the back of the motel. This is a little church that I made, but since we're here, we'll check out the sign. I think this sign looks really good. You can see it all the way from the entrance across the bridge. Sorry, Mercy. And yeah, so we'll head into the All Faiths Chapel. Just a nondescript, multi-purpose, spiritual building. Yeah, that's why I put please just be cool. So yeah, I imagine this building doesn't get a ton of use. Oh, got some Ozymandias on the wall there. But yeah, I imagine it's used kind of as needed or as required by the settlers. So whoever's running things would sit here. And so this room, I kind of wanted that light to be like one of those, if this is on, someone is saying goodbye type things. So that's what that light is supposed to be. There's no one in here right now though, so we'll head in. This would be just like a little funeral or wake area. There's some pews and a preacher stand there. And just a little area to have a wake. And this took a lot of trial and error to get these stairs placed nicely, so they connected nice and didn't clip through everywhere. And that pillar in the middle I think looks pretty nice too. So then all the way up top here we have the little settler gathering bell, scaled up probably like 15 times or something to look like a big church bell. So it has the most underwhelming bell noise ever if you actually ring it. But yeah, I imagine this is like a little sniper beacon, and I really wanted to decorate up here with like sandbags and just make it look like a real sniping outpost too, but alas, it could not be done. But yeah, I think this is a really nice lookout area. You see that dog is on the roof now. Back here. Any bets? Yeah, you guessed it. I just like having a place for everyone to go to the bathroom everywhere. And back here is the graveyard, which looks really cool at night with these lampposts. So lots of people paying their respects and leaving flowers. It's pretty peaceful until you get to the other end of the graveyard, which I wanted to look like somebody broke in and dug up and vandalized this grave, which was Owen, of course, after the settlers made a place for Nora. And with that, that's every building of my sanctuary settlement toured. So thank you so much to anybody who decided to check this out, especially if you watched the whole thing. I appreciate it more than you can know. And yeah, thanks so much. And I hope you liked it. See ya.